Welcome back to the Pauper metagame. We got one nuanced announcement and one larger announcement. So first, I'm going to start off with this very nuanced Pauper related bit of news. The Pauper world's been fairly quiet lately, but there's a little nugget I haven't seen really anybody talk about. Maybe somebody out there picked up on this little nuance. But frankly, even if you listen to all the Magic podcasts, you check out all the Magic articles, you've got every single bit of Magic content out there at your disposal. I don't know if you would have had anybody point this little nugget out to you. You might have figured it out on your own, but anyway, let's jump right in. We have a fairly old announcement. This is August 30th. Today's September the 11th, so this is not quite, but almost 2 weeks old, which is ancient history in the Magic news world. And this was just a little announcement about coverage and the World Championships, and they talked about some stuff. They talked about Detroit and the Japan Nationals and World Championship weekend, and they also announced a little bit about the pro player advisors. They said they'd be happy to announce their three selected candidates: William Huey Jensen, Eduardo Sajgalek, and Willie Edel. Sorry if I'm messing that up. Anyway, one of the things you could easily gloss over is they talk about in this announcement how for GP Richmond, Alex Ullman was going to be one of the writer reporters for that particular event. And then further down in the article, they just have a little singular bullet point that would be easy to glaze over that says, longtime written content contributor Alex Ullman will be making his debut on the official coverage team at Richmond, bringing you the latest from the @Magic Pro Tour Twitter account, as well as day-by-day highlight articles. Welcome, Alex. So, Alex Ullman is now working for / working with Wizards of the Coast directly now, doing this coverage. Now, he's also been working for Channel Fireball here, doing some content there. Channel Fireball is the premier and sole manager of the Grand Prix circuit right now. So Alex Ullman has a toe dipped in with the official Magic coverage team that's with Wizards of the Coast directly, as I believe, as I understand it, as well as having a foot sort of in the door with Channel Fireball, which is a big player in all of this. So why does this matter? Well, as some of you may remember, and some of you may not know, who haven't watched any of my other content, Alex Ullman has been in the Pauper world for a long, long time. A lot of his early content was Pauper stuff. He used to be an admin on the forums for PDC Magic, which was the Pauper Deck Challenge, which it was a website dedicated to player run events. It's basically defunct now. These player run events that also ran through Gatherling, which is a site that does a lot of different player run event stuff. Pretty cool. You should check it out sometime if you're into that kind of thing. But the point is that Alex was involved in Pauper before Pauper was even a real official format on Magic Online. And he's followed Pauper and been involved and been a content creator, following and covering Pauper for a very long time. In short, Alex Ullman is a fan of Pauper. Now, I don't agree with Alex Ullman on plenty of things going back to the forum days. I don't think Alex is going to give you the highest level sort of analysis on what is and isn't too powerful. He's one of these people that talks about how there's too much blue, so we need to ban something. And I've gone off on that tirade over and over and over, so I will save you that. But here's one thing about Alex that I appreciate. He loves Pauper, and his heart is in the right place. We can disagree intellectually about some things, but at the end of the day, Alex is a fan of Pauper, therefore I am a fan of him, even if I disagree with him on some of the particulars of his positions regarding where the game should go, how the ban list should develop. I can set all that aside and say, at the end of the day, we're on the same team. And that's a team that wants to see Pauper go places and do better. Now, Alex Ullman has tweeted some things out in the past saying, yeah, well, maybe Pauper's not really going to take off. Maybe Pauper isn't something that would really help Magic's bottom line, and so on and so forth. I also disagree with that, because I think that Pauper is the ultimate low-level Tier 1 gateway for tons of new players to play Magic. Anytime you're in business and you have different tiers of products that have different price tiers so that you can get a whole bunch of different customers at the price level that they're comfortable with, that's a great thing. If you only have one really high level tier of product, you better be, Jaguar. You better be one of these companies that is so elite and prestigious that you're trying to get status because you're a product that's super expensive that only a few super cool people get to have. That's not Magic. Magic is marketed more as sort of an everyman, accepted, very diverse. You don't have to be you don't have to be a multimillionaire to play this game. Magic's never marketed the same way that you see exclusive high-end products marketed. And for that reason, Magic can't go that direction. Magic needs to be a game that it's accessible to everybody at different price levels. And Pauper would be a boon to Magic getting new players, which is something they're always trying to figure out new ways to do. So again, I'd probably disagree with Alex on some of those kind of things. But again, at the end of the day, Alex Ullman is a fan of Pauper. I'm a fan of him. Here's why this actually matters. This is very interesting because it could amount to nothing. It could just be that Alex Ullman is promoting his own career, and good for him. But there's an interesting dynamic at play here. Here is Wizards of the Coast actively picking up somebody who's been involved with Pauper for a very long time. Maybe that's a coincidence, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's a few people at Wizards of the Coast who've been kind of thinking like, Pauper's pretty cool. We get a lot of noise. The professor, we like that guy. Maybe we could throw him a bone and sanction Pauper at some point. But we'd like to at least have some people around us that understand the format a little bit before we jump off the deep end. And maybe it's not a big priority to Wizards of the Coast. Maybe Pauper's almost an afterthought, but still a thought. Still a concept, still an idea that they're interested in exploring, from time to time, here and there when they have time. So it's sort of like a very low level priority. And this could be one of the little nuggets, one of the little introductory steps along that chain. Even if that's not the case, simply by virtue of having Alex floating around in the mix, it wouldn't surprise me if some important person that has a lot of capital, a lot of ability. When I say capital, I don't mean money, but I just mean they have a lot of power in influencing other important people in the company. Sort of like a power broker, somebody who has influence capital. That person could be randomly talking to Alex one day, as long as he's there and in the mix and around those people, and they could say, "Hey, Alex, what do you think about Pauper? You're like a Pauper guy." And if Alex just says, "Yeah, it's a fun format, I like it," and, maybe they're like, "Oh, okay." Just by virtue of him being around, it's more likely for those ideas and concepts to be brought up. And even though I definitely have had some disagreements with Alex, I don't think he's going to tell anybody the format sucks. Nix it, don't mess with it. That would shock me. I certainly would hope he wouldn't do that, given how long he's been around the game and the format. So while we might disagree on some different angles and approaches, I think if they just keep it on a simple level of, how is Pauper as a format? I think he'll say something along the lines of, it has some issues that need to be corrected, but it's a great format, and hey, you guys should support it. So what I'm basically saying is, this is an optimistic thing. This is something positive that the Pauper world should take away. At a minimum, it's basically just one more person that's involved with Pauper that's now kind of working their way into the heart of the Wizards operation. And that means that when some people look at him, they're going to think Pauper. And that's not nothing. Maybe it's almost nothing, but it's not nothing. Best case scenario, maybe this is a little clue that, Pauper is something that Wizards has in the back of their mind, at the bottom of their to-do list. Which I know may not sound hugely optimistic, but again, that would be better than nothing. So anyway, I just wanted to point this out as something that I thought was very fascinating. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, mostly because it's really not anything. I'm just kind of really delving deep on potential implications here. And I like to really keep my thumb on the pulse of any Pauper related stuff. There hasn't been a lot lately, but I wasn't going to let this sneak by without drawing some attention to it. So we'll leave it at that for today. I want to continue to thank everybody on the channel. I also just wanted to drop a short video to let you know I'm still out here. I've just been real busy in real life. May not be making videos every week. It might be in every other week. It might be every week sometimes, but just know that the channel is still active. There's still going to be Pauper content coming, and believe you me, if we ever get that announcement that Pauper's an official format, we're going to have ourselves an official Pauper celebration on the channel. So let's keep our fingers crossed and keep promoting the format, letting people know it's cool, it's sweet, it's fun. And until then, I hope you guys win a lot of tickets or have a lot of fun at your local game shop. Peace.